She's gorgeous. She's beauty. She's grace. She's sleep deprived. That wasn't a children's book about alphabet. Yay! Hi! How are you? I hope you're doing good. I hope everything's going cool for you because it's not going cool. I have no reason for this video. I was curious. And that's it. Okay guys, I'll see you next video. I hope you had fun. We're going to be reading the Communist Manifesto, or the Manifesto, or Capital, or Das Kapital, or... Actually, I was also confused by this, but actually, the Communist Manifesto wasn't an actual full book until Das Kapital was written. The original script was written by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels in 1848, or published in 1848, and the original pamphlet was a pamphlet, and it was known worldwide as the Manifesto of the Communist Party. And then his bitch ass got exiled to London. I don't know if these are actual facts or not. I have not slept in like 2 days. I am so messed up in my head right now. If you didn't know, is an entire mammoth of 1,158 pages. I don't know why I'm doing this to myself. I know if I hate this fucking book, I'm going to have literally a fucking panic attack. I cannot start something and not finish it. I hate stopping shit in the middle. I hate the idea of DNFing. I know I tell you people to DNF if you don't like something, but I'm telling you, but like I'm not gonna do it. Like I'm not gonna do it, but like you do it, you do you be good. I'm not gonna fucking stop in the middle. However, yeah, pray for me. Okay, I'll see you soon. People, something awful has happened. Wait, sit down. I need to talk to you. So I started, right? And the first part is titled The Process of Production and Commodity. And you know it's gonna be a long fucking time when you flip to the first part, it says volume 1, and then when you flip, it says chapter 1, and then when you flip, it says part 1, and then when you flip, it says section 1. So in this part, we're gonna have multiple sections, and in this chapter, multiple parts, and in this volume, multiple chapters. And we have multiple volumes in general. Oh my god, why did I do this? Oh my god. So I just finished chapter 1. First of all, I am surprised she is here. She is surprised. I'm surprised because I kind of blew through it and I didn't expect to blow through it. What the fuck? It has so many informations, like it's a fucking information dump. Like it's a lot that's be going on right here. Like it's a lot in this book. Why? It's non-fiction, it's old as fuck. It's literally called the Communist Manifesto. It's 1,000 pages long. I was scared. I don't know what I was heading. I knew this was gonna take me, like I suspected that this is going to take me like a month or something to finish, but I am literally blowing through it right now, and yeah, I didn't expect it. So like I said before, it's split into a whole lot of parts, which actually made it so much easier, like to just fly through it, because in chapter 1 it has part 1 and then section 1, section 2, section 3, blah blah blah, and every time I finish one, I'm like, okay, I want to know more, and plus it has a lot of information that are super fucking interesting. So section 1 was called the process of production and commodity, and it's literally that. It's all about the process of production and commodities and the value of commodity and what determines a value of said commodity and what determines the value of an object and how we come to determine said value of said object. This whole section, I've like flew through it, and then I was met with section 2, which is called the dual character of the labor embodied in commodities. But like I flew through it and then I was like, that was easy, plus easy to understand, which leads to my second point. It's not hard to understand at all. coming from a dumbass. I am dumb. English isn't even my first language. It's so fucking easy to understand and easy to follow. Section 3 was called the value form of exchange values. And just as some men count for more when they are inside a gold-plated uniform than they do otherwise. I kind of laughed when I read that. Sorry. I'm kind of laughing at a non-fiction book. Who is she? It's going through a circle when it's like something is way too good, so it goes back to being not good, if you know what I mean. It's like it has so much information, it's easy to understand, but because it has so much information, it sort of flipped into being too much information and it being like an information dump. Because there's so much, I found myself like pausing a lot to reread, to re-listen, to take more notes, to blah blah blah, to try to explain, to understand, to look, to search for more between chapters, between sections, which can be a little annoying, but at the same time it's good because it makes me research things that are useful, unlike me. By the way, I got a hate comment. I got my first hate comment. Like, it was purely hate comment on my appearance, and I'm not gonna lie, I kind of feel famous. Back to the book. It's so weird saying this for a non-fiction 1,000 fucking pages book, but I cannot wait to read more. The whole last part that I finished was all about commodity and how the value is not the commodity. The value comes from not the commodity itself, as the commodity is just an object, but the labor behind the commodity, or the labor needed to produce said commodity. And after finishing it, I was like, oh, this was a simple idea that didn't need 200 fucking pages to explain, but it was fun. It was actually fun. Like, I'm not even trying to convince myself, or maybe I am. I'm kind of going crazy. I don't know though. We also learned that labor is the only thing that creates value. Oh, there's also a section that I liked. I can't fucking remember it. It's a lot. There's also a section about sectioning labor amongst workers. Ah, my fucking hand hurts. Oh my god, I look so ugly. So there's a part about the sectioning of labor amongst workers, which basically states that sectioning labor amongst a lot or an excessive amount of workers makes the worker itself replaceable. For example, if you yourself, me, you as an individual, one small working ant, are working in this big ass fucking factory, and there's this is labor, okay, and this is all of us, and then this labor is sections to all of us. Imagine like hundreds of thousands of people, and this labor is sectioned in a way that makes it sound so fucking big, and like it distances us from the labor itself, like the thingy that we're working on itself, that we as workers do not see the finished product because it's sectioned off like a lot. Like we're working on something so fucking small amongst the finalized product, the finalized idea, the finished line, that we get discouraged and hopeless, and which makes us like better, like replaceable, you know what I mean? Because we don't see the importance of the work that we provide to said big ass factories. I don't know if it made any sort of sense, but that's a section that I liked. Thing that I also started noticing, this is not a Bible, this is not a this and that, like a menu. Like, the more I read, the more I understand that this is a bunch of theories from a philosopher. There are also lots of parts that, how the fuck do I word this, humanizes humans? That doesn't sound right. It really does not sound right, does it? Fuck. It just humanizes the humans that are not humanized. Oh my god. It states a lot of times that the value of commodity comes from the labor and the workers that do that labor. I like it. I'm like surprised at how easy to understand it is. And I am a dumb person. Like, I'm kind of slow. I'm not even like kidding. I'm not making jokes. I'm not like deprecating myself. I'm actually like kind of dumb, and like it's difficult. Like, I focus on 1,000 fucking other things. Seriously, like I'd be reading something, I don't know what the fuck is wrong with my brain, but I'd be reading something and then I notice like a chip on a wall or something, and boom, I have to chip all of it and repaint it at 3 a.m. Shit like that. So yeah, it's difficult for me to focus. Only thing that like so far that I don't like, I guess, it's there is a lot of like religious opinions in the book. Nothing against religion, just I don't like a lot when there is like a writer who tries to implicate their own beliefs in a book, especially when it's not fiction. It just like serves as a wall between the writer and the author, between the author and the reader. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm fucking surprised. I'm surprised. This is gonna be literally my biggest flex ever. This book will not end. Okay, I'm sorry if you can hear an echo. Things are being moved around. I am almost done. From one side, like, I'm proud of myself. You know, you can see, oh my god. You can see the fucking reflection. Now I can't see. Fuck. It won't fucking end. Like, I read and read and read and read and it won't end. Why are we standing up? Wait. Okay, so there is a lecture that I would 100% recommend if you planning to read this fucking mammoth, by Professor David Harvey. You can find it on YouTube for free. And I've been listening to it while reading the book or while listening to the book, and it's very helpful. It goes in section by section, chapter by chapter, in depth, explains more, and goes in depth with Marx's theories, and goes in depth into all of that bullshit. And yeah, he's been helpful. This fucking book was published in 1847, and now 2022, 155 years later, we are still seeing everything that I'm reading about. It's fucking crazy, and we're seeing it even more than they saw it when the book was fucking written. The instability in the world, and especially with basic needs that Marx goes in depth with in Capital, fucking healthcare, food, fucking housing. It goes in depth again and again on points that were already made clear, especially the point of us seeing ourselves in what we make, which basically states that in order to enjoy what we make, we need to see ourselves in it. Also, it's going in depth on something called primitive accommodation, which is basically that some hierarchy people see profit from commodity, or see commodity as that, a profit, while Marx sees it as theft, because the people that make said commodity are not getting paid for the profit that those people in the higher classes are making. I am almost done, but there's one point, because I'm still like researching the points, especially the points that I'm like not understanding well or I find like interesting. I want to know more, and I was researching and I found something. So in 1848, Friedrich Engels co-authored the Communist Manifesto with Marx. But then later he supported Marx financially to keep researching, so he would be able to research and write Das Kapital. And I'm getting a vibe from this. Like, I started getting a vibe. I'm like, hi sugar daddy, what's up? And upon further research, I found that Friedrich Engels and Marx were writing each other poetic letters. Some say they were roommates. It's done, my dudes. I'm smarter than everyone. The last few chapters, it's definitely a more understanding, and what you think might be even like the beginning or like the opening of the book, it's all done in the last few chapters. Like, this is what capitalism, this is what the book was about, this is what I think it means, this is that, this is it's like an intro, but an epilogue as a prologue. And I liked it. It's different, it's a different formatting, but I gotta say I enjoyed it. I don't think you need to read it. That being said, I don't regret reading it. I actually enjoyed this whole process and was super freaking surprised about how understandable it was, even though some of the parts I did needed a companion. Now there's the theories. I did not agree to all of what Marx has said, all of his theories, all of his ins and outs, but there's no freaking doubt that this was iconic. This was very, 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 and I cannot fucking make this point any pointier, very detailed. Like, the details had details, and the details had details, and the details had details. Reading it, and especially after finishing it or almost finishing it, you can feel that this dude had a fucking passion, and that this came from his freaking heart, like the bottomest of his heart, and this was meant to change the world, or at least his contribution to society and his contribution to try and change the world to the better from his point of view. It reads as a collection of philosophical theories from a philosopher rather than like an economic world Bible. Is that even a thing? This is definitely not a you have to read this, like, oh my god, you cannot go on with your life without reading this. But it was some parts eye-opening, sometimes just what the fuck am I even reading, sometimes why am I even doing this, sometimes this is a waste of time, sometimes I like this. But yeah, it was a trip and I enjoyed taking the trip. I actually rated it 5 out of 5 stars, which is argumentative. So go ahead and argue with me in the comments if you agree to it. If you don't, have you read it? Have you not read it? Why haven't you read it? And do you plan to? Or why don't you plan to? Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing. See you next time. Bye.